Flomashkaram and Flomastay. Today we'll be talking about the secret to lasting relationships.
Yeah, I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. My background is in positive psychology and coaching psychology, and today I want to talk about relationships, okay? I think one of the things, looking back on all my past relationships, I've noticed that the thing that was missing, purely missing, and something that if I worked on that one area, it would improve everything exponentially. And this is the concept of polarity, okay? Polarity is what creates attraction, okay? Polarity is what creates that romance of the relationship very long term. Polarity is in regards to masculine and feminine energy, and it's important to note that, I'm talking about energies here, not genders, okay? So a man that is more in his masculine energy will attract a woman who is more in her feminine energy. However, it doesn't always have to be like this, right? There can be a man who's more in his feminine in the relationship, or vice versa. At the same time, you want to understand that yes, one is a leader, one is being led. If you don't trust your man to lead you as a woman, that's an issue. That's something that you have to work on, right? In a sense, to surrender your masculine role in the relationship to play the feminine role. The masculine energy responds to challenge, and the feminine energy responds to praise. So, if I was to say to one of my friends, like, hey bro, is everything good? Like, I see him, he's off on his process or something. Is everything good, man? Like, let's get you back in the gym, right? Let's get you back to MMA again, right? What's going on? Why have you stagnated, right? That's the masculine challenge. I'm calling them out, right? I do this with my male clients, but it is that. That's the energy, right? It's like, hey, let's go, right? Now for the feminine, if you tell her that, she might be like, are you kidding me? Like, what are you talking about, right? In that sense, she responds to praise. So if she's wearing yoga pants, obviously your pure intention, right? When you say this, like, damn, you're looking good, right? That will make her want to work out more and improve that further, to remind her that she's already doing it, in a sense, okay? Another thing is you can't force the feminine to make decisions. If you've read The Way of the Superior Man, you understand this one, right? If you're a man and you're saying, hey, I had this plan this Friday, and I don't know, where do you want to go? I fell into this trap way too many times, guys, so this is a really, really important one. As a man, you've got to decide, this is where I want to go, this is the time, Friday, 8 p.m., wear that red dress I really like, let's go. What if she's the type of woman that challenges that, right? She will challenge you in those moments. But can she still trust your leadership in those moments? There needs to be a trust for a relationship to work. If there's trust that is broken between you two, and there's not enough conversations happening in order to heal it, in terms of like growing and expounding upon your green flags in your relationship. There's certain green flags in every relationship, right? So are you taking actions to strengthen those green flags with that other person? Right? Are there activities together that strengthening those particular green flags? Let's say one of the green flags is they're working on being more curious rather than defensive. Maybe a date night, you both can explore your curiosity on a specific topic together, right? And that would strengthen that green flag. Of course, this is a process. Like a lot of women, they adopt a very masculine frame of the world because the world has been unsafe to them. They've been cheated on, they've been betrayed, they've been rejected, they've been, outcasted, they've been told certain things that by society, right? That, oh, don't do this or don't dress like this. A lot of that tends to get projected outwards, right, into the relationship, with the anger, the dissatisfaction with the masculine. You see, the wounded masculine might attract a wounded feminine, or a wounded feminine might attract a wounded masculine, specifically because polarity is still working with reciprocal energies, right? So you can't have two positives are going to clash. Positive and negative are going to intertwine and weave together. Now, this is okay for companionship. Like, you can be friends with anybody, right? You don't need to be like, oh, I'm only friends with people with this kind of polarity. No, that's weird. Like, polarity only works in regards to sexual relationships, okay? That's that chemistry, that's that sexual tension that you create, that magnetism or that pull towards each other. Like, whoa, I'm really into this person. Like, there's something about them that draws me to them like a magnet, and that's that polarity, right? I like how Tony Robbins describes it in terms of masculine energy is focused and directive, feminine energy is related to connection and emotional fulfillment. Let's say a partner questions your direction as a man. Your polarity might be a little bit fizzled out, okay? You're being challenged as a man in that moment. A person in their masculine energy, if they feel controlled, if they feel overly criticized, or if they feel that their partner is very closed off or cold or distant from them, shut off their masculine polarity. They'll shut off that sexual spark. When that happens, they won't feel that sexual urge to like ravish the partner or like make love to them, right? Because again, there is a incongruency or a sense of like, oh, the communication line isn't matching or something is off, and one person is trying to dominate or control or have more power over another person, where a relationship is a supportive framework, right? It's not supposed to be like a yelling or a boxing match, right, between two people, but it could also be in regards to attachment styles and a lot of like childhood traumas and different things like this, right? Holding space and reflecting each other's shadows and living through them. For a person with feminine polarity, if they feel unseen, if they feel unsafe, or they feel not understood by their partner, they're gonna close off their feminine energy. Close off meaning there will be no sexual attraction for the partner. David Data says that never tell a man who has masculine presence that he's wrong, and never tell a woman who has feminine polarity that she's ugly. Never do that, okay? It doesn't work. The feminine does not respond to challenge like that. They respond to praise. Again, like I said, okay? So let's say you're a little girl growing up and your mother tells you, never be dependent on a man. Be an independent woman. Make your own money, okay? Let's say your mom convinces you of this, okay? Or let's say her father kind of dominates over her and tells her, you gotta be strong, you gotta be a strong woman, you gotta be a strong woman, you gotta be a strong woman. So growing up with this mentality in your subconscious, you have a mask. And now she's wearing a feminine mask over a masculine mask. She's been hurt by a man. She puts on the masculine mask. All guys are like this, blah, 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 right? There we go. Now let's take the opposite example. The little boy learns to put on the feminine mask in childhood. Let's say you're growing up and your mother is telling you that masculine behavior is bad. You shouldn't go roughhousing and playing with the other boys. You shouldn't be like that. She's raising you to be almost a girl in a sense. And let's say your father dominates you on top of that. When a boy is realizing that he's not attracting females, he puts a feminine mask over his masculine mask. This happens when a man is hurt by a woman and learns to please them. So he understands that the praise that the woman, I have to give praise to a woman now, right? Someone might hear this video and be like, oh, that just means I have to keep praising her, right? Like I can never, no, man. These aren't hard or fast rules. You've got to play this game very, very subtly. This is an art and a science. This is an art form, okay? Learn through practice, learn through experiences. Be more in your certainty. That's what I would tell men. Men, be more in your certainty, be more in your decisiveness if you want to be in your masculine polarity. Women watching this, be more in your nurturing and your care and your heart energy if you are to work on your feminine, okay? It's not easy, it's definitely not easy. Specifically the brainwashing from culture and people and things we hear and all this noise. There's so much noise about this. It's time you get really honest with yourself about what's happening, right? This law of polarity in relationships only works if both partners feel safe. So let's say if one partner is judging another partner, guess what? That safety diminishes, creating no sexual chemistry or spark. If you feel unsafe, you can't fully trust in a pair bonding. You don't have to get used to a lack of passion in a relationship. You just have to get used to being vulnerable and having courage to actually talk about your issues together, right? And find a way to have conversations. Like I do couples counseling sessions as well, right? And in them, I see a lot of times that there's just a complete shutdown from the male sometimes. Like he'll go into his own internal world, and the female's just the one talking and talking and talking and expressing herself and talking about all the ideas and that she has. And so he's very out of his head, and she's very in her head. Or it could even be the other way. Like I've noticed these polarities, and a lot of times it's about that trust, right? Because you want support with your pain. I know too many people that have left other people because it's too difficult during the painful periods and times. To make a relationship work, you're gonna have to learn how to appreciate your partner's energy. And you're not trying to fix them. Again, this is another thing that guys try to do. We try to fix the partner, right? You're not Bob the Builder. Calm down, okay? Maybe she just needs the space, and she needs to understand that you understand what she's told you, right? There's got to be that acknowledgement. This is why we're introducing the primal sutra mechanism, because it is one of the ways which you can enhance your masculine polarity and have better relationships. Have that magnetism rather than just waiting for things to happen. Dude, if you're waiting for things to happen, and if you're like waiting by the sidelines, you're looking for choosing signals and all this kind of stuff from women, you are putting yourself more in your feminine energy. Let's just be honest, okay? Let's be honest with ourselves. If you're putting off meeting women and interacting with women and getting into relationships, you are putting off your masculine energy polarity work. I know this because I need to hear this message as well. I'm making this video. Don't look at me like, oh, this guy, he's yelling at me, he's alpha. What's going on? Listen, you've got to understand this, okay? This is no joke. This is no joke. This can make or break a relationship. So understand that this is a very emotional topic for me. And I'm sharing, and you can hear it in my voice, how much I believe in this. And the fact that we need masculine and feminine integration, both rising up as kings and queens and being able to lead that empire together. Don't you want to be that power couple? Right? Who doesn't want to be that power couple who just shows up? And when you see it work so elegantly, there's an amazing dynamic that just makes you smile, man. It just makes you smile. You go, huh, that's what a relationship's supposed to look like. But I look at couples nowadays and they're just like walking with their heads down, just like holding hands because they're supposed to or whatever. There's no intimacy, there's no connection, there's no public displays of affection, there's nothing, none of, like I'm not seeing that. Well, specifically more in India, you're not supposed to show like, PDA. But irregardless, that love, that melting, that laughter, if you're not laughing with your partner, there's something off in the energy. Where's that laughter? Where's that, the jokingness of just like, oh, wow, let's do fun stuff. Like I was watching this music video to Natural Ground a while back. I think it was by Becky G. Man, something misunderstand. Okay, that song, whatever her song is, okay, I can't sing it. Watch that music video because you see them playing games like with each other and like playing Twister. That's my idea of relationship, man. That playfulness in that music video is an idea of like, hey, that's fun, right? It's meant to be fun. It's not meant to be combat. This is not a combat sport, right? A lot of people tactically, they plan like that. Like pickup artists call this sarging, right? That's a military term. So of course we're gonna get arguments if we have that in our language, right? Embedded. I have nothing against, that school. That is where I was born, in a sense. That is where I was raised. But I'm also able to adopt on this paradigm. I'm able to change it. I'm not there attached to these old models of how dating and relationships and pickup and all this stuff is supposed to look. Because we're evolving. And with our own evolution, we've got to understand what actually brings us forward and what actually limits our capacity to love and be loved. Because ultimately, it is about that. How does the other person feel your love? It's about the feeling. It's about that connection, man. And once you can maintain your masculine polarity and feel comfortable in it, right? Don't feel like you're putting on a show. like you're trying to be macho or something, right? That's not polarity work. Polarity work can even take into consideration stuff you have to clear to get rid of that wounded masculine essence within you, or stuff that you have to clear to get rid of that wounded feminine essence of you. Because think about your relationships, right? And then think about how your parents had their relationship. Your idea in your household, your parents, right? That's your idea of relationships, unfortunately. So you have to rewire that. You have to actually take the time to go into your subconscious and rewire that stuff. Because if they were arguing all the time, that's your idea of relationships. That was it for me, that's probably it for you, that's probably it for your neighbor, right? It's just, we haven't seen really good examples of role model relationships. We haven't. In the media, now it's, speaking of wounded femininity, I mean, we see it in the media right now with Amber Heard and, what's her name? Jada Pinkett Smith, right? We see those examples, and we've seen examples of wounded masculine as well. We're starting to see how important polarity work really is, okay? With these very extreme examples in media right now that are shaping us and shaping the collective understanding of what is really happening. There is a crisis of masculine feminine energy on this planet. So how does this work, man? You take your mask off, okay? If you have a masculine mask or a feminine mask on right now and you're protecting it, you think that's the armor that protects you. It's really not. It's you stepping into your pain, doing the inner work, doing the shadow work, getting the healing done. That's truly going to be setting you up for the best level of yourself, okay? Your golden shadow. Let's get it. I'm here to help you overcome your golden shadow. There's a golden shadow morning affirmations for masculine and feminine. So if you want the one with female voice or male voice, let me know. I'll shoot it right over to you. It's $72 right now. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it today.